Hello, assalamu alaikum. Uh, I'm really sorry for that, actually. Uh, Hello, assalamu alaikum. Actually, I'm really sorry for that because of time. Because of actually, I just set a meeting for 10 p.m., but actually, we are going to start about 11 p.m. Okay, it's not an issue. So, okay. Now I can actually start our today's sessions, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, please hold a minute. Okay, so we already did some implementations using some APIs like JDBC and JPA. And today, actually, we are going to convert our applications using Hibernate-based configurations. And not only that, till now, we just use um, dependency injection using new operator, and that is very hard-coded. And maybe today, actually, we are going to get rid of these problems, and we'll see much more things and very exciting things are coming by today's sessions. So, so my dear audience, I am audible. Can any of you please send me a message that actually I'm audible?
Yes,
Okay, okay. Thank you. Cool. So I already started um, my Docker container, and this is our database actually. And which branch today? It okay. So if I see that, I need to check out because we already worked on only two branches, master branch and JPA JSP servlet branch. Okay, so maybe today I am going to check out this branch, JPA JSP servlet. Till of now, we used plain JPA, as if you know that. We start using ORM, and today I'm going to convert these applications into Hibernate-based configurations. And to do that, we need to do some simple, we need to change some configurations, and also we need to change in our dev layer. So before that, I need to check out a new branch from this existing branch. So I'm going to check out, please see carefully. I'm going to check out a new branch from this branch, like feature JPA JSP servlet. So git check out a new branch. I will give it as name as Hibernate. Okay. So if I write git branch, so this is our new branch. First of all, we just immediately checked out a new branch and we given it name as Hibernate JSP Servlet. From which branch? We check out from JPA JSP Servlet branch, not master branch. And after that, I need to delete this configuration class because this is for JPA, plain JPA configurations. So I will delete this class, util class. Okay. And after that, from resources, I will delete the meta inf directory. Okay. So I will delete this directory. This is done. So, sorry, I need to create a Hibernate configuration. So actually, we will not take time. That's why I just prepare before that. I need to create a new file, which is called hibernate.cfg.xml. That means that Hibernate configuration file. And in Hibernate configuration file, I will just copy from here. I will paste it here. So definitely, I will give it to you with the source code. What actually we changed it here? So we just return Hibernate connection driver class. So as we are using MySQL, we will load the MySQL driver, and this is our connection URL. So this is our database name. Okay. And as actually I am running my database as local machine. That's why it's a local host. This is username and password. And in the Hibernate dialect section, I just mention it as MySQL dialect. So MySQL 8 dialect was old. That's why I need to use MySQL dialect. This is the latest dialect. And Hibernate Show SQL and Hibernate Format SQL, as if you know that. So Hibernate Show SQL means once you're executing the query using Hibernate, it will show your SQL in you as a log file. And Hibernate, what is the Hibernate Format SQL? It will format your SQL query and it will show in the console as a log file. And Hibernate auto update, and I also mentioned the time zone, which is called UTC. This is not actually necessary, but this is necessary for the big project. If you deploy a project in different time zone, so in that case actually it is necessary. That's why actually I mentioned it here. And after that, I need to create a Hibernate config class. So in the util package, I will create a Java class which is called Hibernate configuration class. So I will not take actually I'm not interested to waste my time. That's why actually I will just copy and paste this configuration class. Okay. And okay. So why actually I used no argument constructor, and that is access level private. So this is Lombok special annotations. That means that you cannot create an instance of the util class. As this is a util class, so the main rules should be you will make a constructor and the constructor should be private. So from the out scope of the class, you will not be able to create an instance of this class. And the second thing you can see that I used a final keyword. Why? Because if I use the final keyword, so none of any Java class will not be extend our Hibernate configuration class. And after that, in here, you can see in the configuration.configure, we just load Hibernate configuration XML file from our class path. And after that, for example, if you have many entities like 100 or 200 entities, list of entities, you need to put it here. So I told you before that it's manual configurations before, because actually we did not started yet any Spring based configurations. So once we will start the Spring based configurations, then you will understand, yeah, how it easy to use. You manage and use the ORM with the help of the Spring ORM. So we already have the country class. I just import the country class. So from which location is being imported? In this location, right? Also, if I go to the in the table structure, I can see that my tables column is country ID. Okay, that's why actually I don't need to change it here. After that, I need to go to the DAO package. So in the DAO package, what is actually you need to change? You need to create a session factory, right? So to do that, so there are three ways to create the ORM. Like uh, I will create a session factory in here. Session. So this will come as a, please be sure that it's not a Jakarta JMS session. It's not a MySQL CJ session. It should come from session, this package org.hibernate session. So let me import that. And after that, we need actually we will do a very simple change it here. Session, session equal to, we already have the Hibernate config class, right? It will comes from Java E utils dot get session. That's all. So I will remove this line. And after that, you can see I have a small issue with entity manager, right? So I don't need to use the entity manager right now. I will just use the session. That's all. And now I will copy and I will paste it in the here, and I will remove the this line, and I will just replace from entity manager to session. It's very easy, right? If you know how to play with the ORM, then it will be easy. And if you don't know, it will be very difficult task for you. Then I will also update our delete method. I will just remove entity manager. I will use Hibernate session. Just copy and paste. Okay. Oh, sorry, not this one. I will remove entity manager and put session instead of the entity manager. Actually, we had actually small typo in search param. Okay, today actually I will fix this small typo. To do that, actually it will not work actually properly. There is a small bug in here. I will declare a string string, maybe search string. Okay, maybe search param equal to, or maybe search pattern, search search pattern equal to, and I will add just a pattern like that. Okay, then I will set as a multiple parameter in here. The first parameter should be the search name. Query dot set parameter, and this would be a search pattern, right? It should be search name and the search pattern. I will just copy and paste, and it should be search continent. Okay, so in the search name, I will paste it here, and for the search continent, that's all. Okay. And after that, I also need to fix the count query. Let me see count query is okay or not. I believe it's okay, no problem. So, and let me go to the service section. We don't need to change any service section here because we will only change the DAO layer. Okay. I believe it's okay. Now we can go, we can run the project. Yeah. So you can see that our project is running, no problem. So if we create a new country like USA, and or maybe we can create Bangladesh, the continent is Asia. We can create another country like India, continent is Asia. And if we search by country, we'll be able to search even if we search by country name. Yeah, it's working. And we don't search, if we go to the details, if we go to the edit, if we, for example, if you put anything in here, now it's working, right? Now, if I change again to Asia, yeah, so it's perfectly working. Now, actually, I'm going to commit our changes and we'll push our branch to the GitHub. And before that, I will clean the packages. Okay. Kubernetes config edit. Let's see. Okay, so you can see that in our master branch, we used JDBC servlet JSP. In feature JPA branch, we used JPA and JPA based configurations. And in Hibernate JSP servlet branch, we used Hibernate based configurations. Now I'm going to check out master branch. Why? Because today actually what I'm going to do, um, so we are just going to change the way of giving dependency injection in our project. So as you can see that. So if I go to the not country, if I go to country service implementations, you can see that we use dependency injection in which way? We are just use plain Java, okay, as a dependency injection. So if I go to the controller like index controller, you can see we used a new operator, okay, just creating the Java object. So from today, we will get rid of all of these problems. So we are not going to use anymore using plain Java with new operator to create Java object. So there are actually few and couples of way to use dependency injection in your projects. So one of is that using EJB. So another is that CDI. So CDI means that context dependency injection, and EJB means that enterprise Java bean, and you can also use Guava, and you can also use Spring. So in most of the cases, Spring and CDI is more how can I say, popular, right? So you can use any of this, but EJB has already become very old and deprecated. So I did not see nobody use EJB in their project, but CDI and Spring dependency injection is more popular in any Java-based applications. So we will close all of the apps and we are going to check out our master branch. Oh, sorry. And clear branch. Okay. So in that branch, you can see we only used JDBC, JSP, and Servlet. So what will be our first step? Our first step will be, as Tomcat, you know that Tomcat cannot contains any bean, what kind of bean, like EGB or CDI or Spring Bean, right? It's just a servlet container. But there are some enterprise level server that actually manage your Java bean. So one of is that Wildfly or JBoss or Glassfish you can use. So but most of the in most of cases actually for practice, or if your project is very small project, so actually in my recommendation you can use Tomcat. So Tomcat has already two version. One version is the Tomcat and another is Tomcat EE. So currently we are using only Tomcat, not Tomcat EE server. So I will use one of the dependency that is not available in the Tomcat, and the dependency name is CDI. Sorry. And after the glassfish wave, I will just put the dependency. Any error? I believe there is no error. CDI version. Okay. White makes complaint. It should not complain, but why it's making it complain? Okay, let me change the configurations. Maven tools, Maven. It should be okay. And after that, project structure, SDK, project. Okay, everything is okay, fine. Why it's making complaint? We did anything wrong? Maybe we can download this web servlet CDI core from Maven repository. Not sure why it makes complaint. Okay, fine. And after that, I will just use this as a version of the CD, same version, right? No problem. Okay, it's cool. And before that, I will write ambient clean to clean the project. Okay. So now, this will be our first step to use the dependency. And after that, in the web app, web INF, we need to create a new XML file. XML file, and we'll give it to name as beans.xml. Beans.xml. Okay. And I already have the beans.xml file. I will just copy and paste it here. That's all. And you need to do some simple change in the web app like web XML. So just add this listener so it will listen, right? Okay. Now I will go to the DAO, and I will go to the DAO implementations. Now it's the high time to use the CDI, right? It's very exciting. So I will use an application scope. You can see. There are some there's application exception and application scope. Please make sure that you are using jakarta.enterprise.context application scope. That's all. In our country deo, we will only put application scope. Now, I will go to the service and country service implementations, and I will remove this require argument constructor. Instead of that, I will use application scope. Okay. And here I will remove the final keyword. From country deo, I will use inject annotation. Okay. And let's go to our controller. Actually, we need to work a lot right now. And I will just remove all of the I will just remove the init method. And after that, I will use inject. Inject. Okay. And I will just copy from index controller because I need to change all of this controller because I'm going to remove the init method from all of this controller. And I will copy from here in the delete controller. We don't need the init method. And in the details controller, I will do the same. And update controller, I'll also delete the init method. So we already changed. And before that, I will write npm clean install -t. I will assign the number of thread will be 10 during the project building. After that, I will write dmaven dot skip test equal to true. Okay, cool. And after that, let's try. This is our first time we are going to use CDI in our project. Only JSP JDBC servlet based configurations. Let's see, is it working or not? We'll get some error because you know why actually we will get some error because of database. It actually makes us complain the unknown column. Okay, the unknown column country underscore ID, but in our case the column is country ID. So what I need to do, I need to just drop the table. I will drop the table right now, and I believe we have the query to create the table. So we will create a new table right now. Use Java EE. So right, okay. Now if you go to the home page, now no problem, right? So okay, I will run the project again. Yeah. So that means our dependency injection is working. So let's do some test. Bangladesh, Asia, submit. Yeah, our data is coming, right? So if I create another country name, India, Asia, submit. If I create another country like Pakistan, Asia, submit. Yeah, it's cool working, right? If I go to the details page, if I go to edit, if I do submit, yeah, it's working. So we are we are able to migrate our applications like JSP, JDBC project into instead of using new operator, we are able to migrate our project to CDI bin. So I will stop the project, and after that, let's see what actually we changed. So I will write mbn clean git status. So this class actually we modified. So I will update the project, git add, git commit am, and I will write the message migrate to CDI and git push. It's cool, right? Now, how many branch we already have? Um, we have, I believe we actually have 3 branches. If you go to the all branches, like right now we converted our JDBC JSP servlet project using CDI as a dependency injection. Now we are going to change this same way in our feature JPA JSP and feature Hibernate JSP servlet. And to do that, I will just copy the branch name. So git checkout branch. So right now we are in, oh, sorry. Is there any change? Okay. So right now we are in feature JPA servlet branch. So actually, I'm interested to check out a new branch from JPA JSP servlet. So I will give it to name as CDI JPA JSP servlet so that in the near future, you will be able to understand how actually migrate from the plain JPA servlet project to CDI project. Git check out a new branch. I will give it the name as JPA JSP servlet with CDI, context dependency injection based, right? So yeah, I already told you earlier, you can use any dependency injection container. So CDI is a very lightweight dependency injection container. Even you can also use EJB, you can also Google Guava, or you can also use Spring. So right now, how many branches do you have? We have 4 branches right now. And right now we are in the CDI branch. So let's do the changes in the JPA. So actually every time I don't need to change the database column name in the country ID. So what actually I can write it here. I can write column, column name as country ID, country underscore ID. So my dear audience, I'm audible. Hello, hello.
হ্যালো, জি
Okay,
শোনা
okay,
যাচ্ছে।
thank you.
হুম, হুম।
So after that, what actually we need to do? First of all, we need to add the dependency. So to do that, I already have the CDI dependency. I will add the CDI dependency in here. I will add to the after the glass piece. So I will delete my Maven project, and after that, yeah, under the web INF folder, I need to create a file which is called beans.xml. And after that, I need to copy this XML configuration. I will paste it. You can see so what the meaning of the bean discovery mode. So bean discovery mode will be annotated. So your CDI dependency container will understand what type of bean actually you injected and what actually you need to get the bean to use in your project. That's why actually we did it as bean discovery mode as annotated. And we can go to the DAO package, country DAO implementations. We can write an application scope. With that, you will understand it will come from the CDI. And we can go to the service. In the service section, I will remove the require argument constructor. I will use application scope. I will also remove the final. Here, actually, I will use the inject. Okay. Now, again, I will go to the controller. I will remove all of the bunch of code from here. You can put an inject. Be sure that this inject is coming from Jakarta inject. Okay. So I will copy our country service. I will close all of the steps. Uh, Again, I will delete. Maybe it will be easy for you if I do font, right? Font change. If I change the font size 15, it will be easy for you to understand and it will be more visible. I believe that. So now font size is okay. Hello? Anyone send me a message? Okay, thank you. So, okay. In the country service, I will use inject. So let's copy this and the details controller. We will remove the init. And in the country service, I will just inject. Okay. And index controller, I will also remove the init. I will use inject. Please let's go to the update controller and we'll do the same thing. Okay. So I believe everything is okay. I will write ambient clean. And if I write git status, so how many classes we change? We change the controller, that is okay. We change the country to implementation, that is okay. We also did some modifications of country entity, that is okay. And country service implementations. Now it's high time to run our project. Is it working or not? I'm telling you again, we just now we converted our JPA JSP Servlet project to JPA JSP Servlet CDI. CDI means contents dependency injection. It's very cool, right? Right now, actually, we don't need to use any new operator to create a Java object. Okay. So I will do create country name Bangladesh, Asia, submit. Yeah, it's working. If I click create, country name India, Asia, submit, create Pakistan, Asia, submit. Okay, it's cool, right? If I go to details, it's also working. If I go to edit and submit, if I delete every country, it is also working. That means we are able to migrate our project. JPA project also use with the help of CDI. So now I will clean the project and git status, git add, commit, am. So I will write um, use CDI instead of Java new operator. Just simple commit message git push. So you can see this is our new branch. I will just push this new branch. So what is remaining? Now we are successfully able to convert our JPA JSP servlet project into JPA JSP servlet CDI. Now, which branch actually we have remaining? We have also remaining a Hibernate project, right? Feature Hibernate JSP servlet. So let's do. So git okay git branch. So I'm interested to check out this branch. So I will check out this branch. Git check out this branch, and after that I will check out a new branch from Hibernate JSP servlet. Okay, please uh, observe very carefully. So I will check out a new branch from feature Hibernate JSP servlet. So git check out a new branch, and I will give it name as CDI. Okay, so as if you know that we need to use a dependency in our pom.xml file, right? In the property section, I will declare the version, and in the dependency section, I will add this dependency after the classification. But any place you can use, no problem. But be sure that you are properly maintaining the sequence. If you don't maintain sequence, no problem. But it is the good practice. And after that, I need to create a beans.xml file. Beans.xml. And the beans.xml, so I already explained you already what is beans.xml. Right now, we need to change our project very first. So I will write application scope in the DAO. And after that, in the service section, I will remove the require argument constructor. Also, I will also remove the final inject. I will go to the controller, like create controller. I will remove the init method. And here I will write as an inject. Okay. So copy the whole thing, and it will be easy for us to write the code very fast. We'll remove from here also init method, and we'll just replace. We'll also remove init method from index controller, and I will copy and paste. And we'll also do the same thing in update controller. Okay. I believe everything is okay, except the country ID, right? So let's see what is in the country ID. No problem. If there is a, if nothing, Hibernate will automatically create the table. So we can drop the table right now. As this is a Hibernate project, it will automatically create the entity. Let's see. So it's cool, right? It's also working in a Hibernate-based configurations also. So we can create a new country name, Bangladesh, Asia, submit. We can create a new country like India, Asia, and we can also create a new country, Pakistan, Asia. And we can also go to the details, edit, also working, and we can also delete all of the country from our database. So it is also working. So today, actually, I told you I will go very fast, and because of this migration, maybe in near future, I will also go very fast for the migration, for migrate to any technology from any technology. Okay. So if I write the git status, we can see that we change only these files, Java class files and also POM file, and I will write as a ambient clean to clean to actually why actually I'm writing the ambient clean because my target my we can see that our my target is to delete our target directory from the project. That's why actually every time I write the ambient clean. So now I will write git add git commit added cdi in Hibernate project. As is a new branch, so I need to push this branch. So if I go in our Maven repo, in our Git repository, we can see that we have now many branches. So these some branches for plain Java-based configurations and some branches are for CDI-based configurations. Now actually what is remaining? We have remaining one more, one is very important and exciting part that is called Spring. So you may ask a question actually, how can we use the Spring in our JSP or in servlet-based applications? Definitely, we can use Spring in our servlet-based applications. So to do that, so let's go actually how to use the Spring in a servlet-based applications. Okay, so maybe we need to check out a new branch. So first of all, actually, you can see I'm interested to go from JDBC. After that, I will go JPA. After that, I will go Hibernate because we are going to migrate our project again from plain Java object to Spring. What actually we did last 50 minutes? We just my first of all we migrated from JPA project to Hibernate project using plain Java object creation. And after that, we migrated all of our project like JDBC based configuration, JPA based configuration, Hibernate based configuration, okay, using the using CDI. Why? Actually, we just use CDI as a dependency injection container, okay? Now we are going to migrate our project using Spring dependency injection. How to do that? So to do that, first of all, we need to check out our new branch. So now I'm interested to, oh, so to do that, to before that, so actually maybe I also need to ask you some questions. So can we continue more next 30 minutes? If you don't have a problem, maybe today actually I will also show very first how to convert our project and how to add Spring configurations using plain JSP servlet project. So please, anybody can text, send me the message. So actually, if you're interested, today I will show. But if you're not interested, if you're feeling not good, maybe our next session actually I will show. Can please anybody can send me a message? Hello? I just got a message from only one. So that means you are okay if I continue next 30 minutes? Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So right now I will write Spring branch. So I'm interested to go to our master branch. Why? Because our master branch contains the JDBC based configurations. So git checkout master. So I will close all of the tabs. So what will be our git branch? Okay. So in our master branch, we can, as you can see, there is a CDI based configurations. So first of all, we need to remove. No, no, no. Sorry, sorry. I will write as git take out a new branch. It will be easy for you. I don't need to remove anything. Git check out a new branch. I will give it the name as feature JDBC. Okay, feature JDBC JSP servlet Spring DI. Okay, I just write as a Spring DI, means Spring Dependency Injection. Git branch. If I see right now we are in JDBC JSP servlet Spring Dependency Injection branch. So what would be my first action? My first action would be I will delete the beans.xml file. This would be my first action. Okay. And my second action would be I will just add a dependency. So what type of I will remove the CDI dependency from here because I don't need anymore the CDI dependency in our Spring configurations. Okay. I told you earlier, whatever you actually need, you need to use. Otherwise, if you don't need any dependency, please remove the dependency from your project. Otherwise, your project will be heavy weighted. In the near future, it will be very difficult to manage your project. So before using any dependency, you should be 100% sure you only need this dependency. Okay. So I will okay, here I will write spring dot version. I can just define Spring very stable version is 6.2.3. Is a very stable version. And after that, after the glassfish, I will write as a dependency. It should be org dot Spring framework. And it's not a Spring bomb, it should be Spring context. Spring context. And here would be the version. I will write Spring version. I will just copy. I need only two dependency, Spring context and Spring web. Please, we are going to use only web, not web MVC. Okay, so web MVC is different because in our project we are not going to use Spring web MVC. And now your second action would be you need to create a configuration file. This is very important. You can make it any name. So actually, I'm going to give the configuration file as Spring context. You can give any type of name, no problem. For naming convention is Spring, so no problem, right? You can use anything. You can write application context, Spring context, or you can, if your project is Java E context, you can write anything, right? No problem. So after that, I have some bean configurations. That is very, very, very important. Okay. So we can see that there is an error. No issue. We are going to solve this error. And if I go to the entity, country, so right now we are in the JDBC project. So in the JDBC project, there is no country ID. So in the table, I'm going to delete the table. You can see in the table column is a country ID, not country underscore ID. So I will delete that. I will just drop the table. And here I will just create a new table. You can see a new table is created. Its column is country underscore ID. Okay. Our POM file is done. So the most important thing is in web INF. In the web INF, we don't need any listener as a CDI based listener. We are going to use Spring based configurations. How to do that? In the listener section in the web XML file, I will add as a new listener. This new listener will be context loader listener. And after the inside the context parameter, you can see inside the context parameter. Okay, you can see the context config location. It's a param name. So where is in context? Under the web INF is spring context.xml file. So this file name can be anything that I told you earlier. Okay, you can see the spring web INF spring context. The web INF spring context. And after that, if I go to the DAO implementations, so this should be a repository. Now it's time to use Spring-based component, Spring-based annotations. So this DAO is responsible for communicate with the database. Okay, that's why it should be a repository. And in the service section, it should be a service. It should be service. And should be require argument constructor. I will just remove the inject and it should be a final. So Spring will automatically give the dependency injection of country Deo. Okay, I believe in that case, actually, we are okay to go ahead. And after that, I believe everything is okay, maybe. And if I go to the our controller section and in the create controller, so this is not actually okay. So what actually I need to change it here to do that? I also need to create an application because many things we need to do for a Spring-based configurations. So I also need to do some modification in the DAO level. In the DAO level, in the repository, I need to give as a name, country DAO. That actually we defined as in here in the bin section. So if I go to repository, it should be country DAO. And if I go to the service section, country service implementations, it should be country service. I believe everything is okay. Fine. Okay. So right now, the package should be com.java e.service.country service implementations. No. Country service implementation. Why it's makes a complaint? No constructor found in country service implementations. Let's see. We have any constructor or not. We have a constructor, but it makes us a complaint. Okay, we need to fix this section. Java e dot tau dot non-detail implementation, right? Now error has gone. So most important thing, we need to create an application context container in our bin section. In our utils section. So in the utils section, so we have a database config. We don't have any issue. Use the database config. So I am going to create a new generic Java class also. Also for the first time, we are going to use a generic Java class to hold our bin of the whole project. So that should, you can give it as any name. So as our project is a Java EE Cloud based project, so we can write as a Java EE application context. Okay. In the Java EE application context, I would like to create a public static, and it should be parameters T, because we are going to use a generic T get bin, and in the bin section name, it should be servlet context. It should be a servlet context, and servlet context, and we also pass the class name, class. Okay, and we also need to pass a third parameter, which is called bin name. And after that, I will write as a web application context equal to web application context utils dot get application context, this servlet context. First of all, it will hold the servlet context. Once it finds the servlet context, then it will return the context dot get bin class and bin name. Okay, so why actually I written this? Because to reduce our source code. Now you will understand actually what we are going to do. If I go to the controller, so only this class you can use in your application in the production level, no issue. But there are lots of configurations you need to do in the productions. If I go to the create controller, in the create controller level, so you need to do a slightly modification of we are going to delete our inject, this one, right? So what actually we need? We need to come back in our init method. Override, I will write public void init. We don't need any servlet exception. Here I will write, we already have the country service. So I will remove the CDI annotation. Instead of that, I will write the country service equal to Java EE application context dot get bin. Okay. In the get bin, I will write as a get servlet context first. After that, what actually I need to pass? Country service dot class. Okay. And what would be the bin name? You can see. So what would be the bin name? This bin name that you already defined in context Spring context file. Can you see that? This is the service bin name there that you already defined in your XML file. Okay. So that's why now you understand why actually we retain this util class, because this util class will help us not to writing lots of repetitive code. So we'll be able to get rid of the repetitive code in every time. Now our create controller class is okay. So I will now copy this init method. After that, I will go to the delete controller. I will remove the inject. and I will paste in the init method. It should be all the same, right? In all cases, we are using country service as a service. Now I will go to the details controller. I will remove the inject, and instead of that, I will copy, and I will go to the index controller. I will remove the inject annotations from CDI. Instead of that, well, I'm using the Spring beans. Same thing I will do in the update controller. So I believe that everything is working. I will do some refactor. Okay, there is no unused import. Now I will write as git status. So I will write ambient clean. Okay, so now it's the time to run our project. Oh, it's cool, right? So you can see that we just used JDBC servlet, and in the JDB in the servlet based project, we used only Spring dependency injection. How actually we configure, right? It's so beautiful. So you can use Spring with any Java based framework or Java based technology. So if I click on Bangladesh, Asia, submit, it's working. If I do India, Asia, submit, it's also working. So if I go to the details, edit, it's also working. If I delete, definitely pagination is also working because there is no enough data. That's why actually I'm not able to show you the pagination, but definitely it will works in pagination. So I believe that git status. So do you have time to continue with me in the next 20 minutes? Can you please send me the message? Are you sure? Okay, thank you. Because actually we have another two branches to migrate, like from C. Now we have some branches to migrate plain Java to Spring. What actually we did today? We just we did from plain Java to CDI, and now we are doing plain Java to Spring. So it's now today actually I believe that today actually we'll get some confidence how to use different type of dependency injection and how to configure in your project using different technology. Now I will write git status git add git commit m jdbc jsp servlet and tis spring. So I will just push. So if we go in our git repository, so how many repository we have right now? So we are just if I search like Spring, we just converted only one branch to Spring, right? We already have the two branches remaining. I believe that it will be very quickly. Please stay with me next to 20 or 25 minutes because tonight actually I'm going actually I had a plan to complete all of these tasks by tonight. And from our next session, we are going to, actually we are going to do lots of stuffs and very exciting things and new technology from our next sessions. That's why actually today, if you stay with me, then let me complete all of this by tonight. And please give me a few minutes break. I'm coming back within few minutes. And before that, please stay on the Zoom meeting. Right. So right now we are going to update our project, upgrade our project, not update, to Spring. So we just completed our converted our project from JDBC Java-based configurations to Spring. Now we are going to Git branch. So we have JPA JSP servlet project. Please, this is our JPA JSP servlet project. So I will write Git checkout this branch, and from this branch I will create a new branch. Why? Because I'm going to change JPA JSP servlet with plain Java object Java based configurations to Spring based configurations. So I will write as a Spring DI. DI means Spring Dependency Injection. So as of you know that you already know what actually we need to do. We need to declare the dependency first. So I will go in the POM XML file. Oh, sorry. And after that, I also need to declare this two dependency. After the glass piece section, you can put anywhere, no problem. You need to load. After that, you need to create a file. So you give it the file name as Spring context. You can put anything. And copy and paste. You know, you already know there is an error. We'll fix the error, no issue. And after that, you need to go to the dev first. Just write as a repository. So we can actually copy from our existing branch. It will be fast for us. Okay, I will just copy from here. Okay, now I believe everything is okay right now. And I will go to the service section. In the service, okay, so you need to import the service annotation. And after that, we also need a utils first, this Java utils. Actually, I'm just in the util section, you need to create a new Java class, utils Java application context, just copy and paste everything. Okay, that is fine. And right now we need to go to the controller because we already have the classes, right? Every time we need to write the code, we can just copy from our existing branch. And I need only this section. So if I go to the controller, I will paste inside the init. I will import the Java EE class and okay. Now I will go to the delete. It works. I will go to the details controller. And if I go to the index controller, I'm doing it very fast because you already know everything, right? So I believe now I need to do some refactor, remove the unused import. Yeah, there is some unused import. You see? Okay, I will delete. Again, I will delete the count, drop the table. Let's see our table is automatically created or not. Yeah, we have some error. We need to fix the error first. It should be country service implementations and it should be the country, sorry, country deo, right? Everything is okay. Please do some refactor. Please go to the web XML file. We have something remaining in here. We need to add this. Okay. So I'm not going to explain again because I already explained you what is this. And after that, we need to run the project. Let's see if our table is automatically created or not. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Now we can create a country name, Asia, Bangladesh. We can also create India, Asia, submit, Pakistan, Asia, submit. We can also go to the details page, no problem. We can also go, we can do update, no problem. We can also delete. So I believe our conversion is done, JPA conversion is done. Now it's time to update our, it's time to push our branch. So I will write git, which branch we are in, git branch. Right now we are in JPA, JSP servlet Spring dependency injection branch. So I will write git add, git commit, converted, plain Java based config to Spring di config, git push. Okay. So it's fine. Now we have only one branch remaining to configure Spring-based configurations. So git branch. So if I go to our, how many branches we have right now? So right now we are going to migrate Hibernate JSP servlet to spring-based configurations. Okay. Initially, we will drop the table. So git checkout branch. So this is our existing branch. From this branch, I am going to create a new branch. Git checkout branch. It should be Spring DI. Okay. So clear. It should be refresh. Okay. So we already converted Hibernate JSP servlet to Spring DI. I'm not sure exactly. Git branch. Which branch we are in? Okay. Maybe this branch we have already Hibernate based configurations. Let me check it out. Oh, we just check out a wrong branch. Okay. So we need to delete first because we check out this branch from the wrong branch. So git branch delete. Right now we are in this branch. From this branch, we will check out a new branch. Okay. So again, we need to use this dependency in our POM XML file. And we'll put our dependencies after the class fish. We can put anywhere, no problem. And after that, we need to create a XML file under the web INF. Oh, sorry. It should be a file. We know that there is an error, no issue. And we need to go to our any of the Spring based configuration branch to make our conversion very fast. So that's why I will go web INF, web XML. We need this listener and context param. We'll go web XML is done, form is done. We need an utils file that is called Java EE application context. So in the utils section, we will create a new Java class. And after that, we will paste everything. You already know what is this. And after that, we need to go to the DEO implementations. Now I will go DEO implementations. Here I will import the class. That is okay. And after that, I need to go to the control service implementations. I'll copy these things. And right now, I need to do some changes in the controller level. Just copy these things. Please go to the controller. Just paste it here. And paste to make changes to all controller, right? Is there an unused import? No. Go do for the details, same thing. There is an unused import. Do for the index controller and do for the same in the update controller. Okay. Now we have a small typo in our Spring Beans. It should be country service implementations and it should be country DAO. Okay. So I believe everything is okay. Okay, right. So our project works fine, no problem. If I create a new country, Bangladesh, Asia, if you create a new country like India, Asia, like Pakistan, Asia, details works, edit also works, update also works from here, delete also works from here. So now it's the good time to push our existing branch. To do that, npm clean git status. This this following class files and XMLs we actually changed. We'll write git add commit added a Spring BI in Hibernate config git push. Okay, it's cool. Let's check. So how many branches we already have? If I go to the all branches, so it's cool, right? So we have Spring-based chains and we have also CDI. So what is actually we did in our applications? Hello. So we are able to successfully convert our applications in using different dependency injection provider. First of all, actually, I show you how to uh, create project from plain JSP JDBC servlet, and after that, how to migrate this JSP JDBC servlet project to plain JPA based configurations. After that, I also show you how to migrate this project using Hibernate based configurations. And this migration or this conversion, we just used plain Java-based conversion using like plain simple plain Java, just creating an object using Java new operator. After that, we migrated all of this project using CDI, context dependency injection. And after that, finally, we migrated all of these configurations using only Spring Core. We just use only Spring dependency injection container and Spring Web Application context. So still of now, we did not start it yet, a Spring MVC. So down the time, I have so many plans regarding of this actually what we are going to do. And then in our next coming session, we are going to use Spring Web MVC, Spring Java-based configurations, XML-based configuration, and lots of things. And after that, once it is done, I will show you how to deploy your project initially in local environment, and after that, how to deploy your project in cloud environment. Until of that, stay tuned with me and see you. Allah Hafiz, Tata, bye bye.